When the war is over and if I live through it, B and I are going to sail her around the world. Words from General George Patton spoken in 1939 as he created the commission of the vessel I am standing on right now, the When and If. This 80-foot schooner was built in Maine in 1939 and was nearly destroyed by a storm in 1990. The ship was then relaunched in 1994 at Vineyard Haven in Martha's Vineyard and traveled around New England for 17 years. In 2012, the boat changed hands and since then has been meticulously restored to all of her former glory. In beautiful Lewis Bay under sail on the When and If. Captain Seth Salzman, what can you tell me about this beautiful vessel?
The When and If here was built in 1939. She was designed by John Alden and specifically built for General George Patton with his dream of sailing the vessel around the world. He said, when the war's over and if I return, B and I are sailing around the world.
And so he did get to sail the vessel, but he never got to sail it around the world.
Correct. Yeah, he did sail the vessel, probably a total of 3 or 4 weeks. Later in the season, with the Cape Cod Maritime Museum, we're doing an event with Ben Patton, General Patton's grandson, and he has video footage of General Patton sailing this boat.
Wow.
So that'll be exciting.
So what can you tell me about the boat itself? It's a beautiful 80-foot, three-masted.
Two-masted.
I'm observant. I have two-masted sailboat. So tell me a little bit about the boat itself.
Well, she's a schooner, and John Alden from Boston, Massachusetts, he designed quite a few schooners, and he designed them to be fast. He liked racing and he liked performance sailing, but he also liked the classic lines of the traditional wooden ship, and he liked a schooner that could more or less be sailed with the minimal amount of people. And if you wanted performance, you could do it. You could bring on extra people. You could make it more exciting. But for the most part, 3 people can sail this ship. Anywhere really. I mean, you get tired, of course, but.
How many people do we have on the crew today?
Today we have quite a few of us. There's 5 of us today, but we have a couple of trainees. So we have a girl whose father met us on the fuel dock in Philadelphia, and I think it was more. He wished he had the opportunity to do this, and his daughter she's before college, she was able to do it. She wrote me a long email and saying she wanted to do it and come volunteer for a week or 2 and learn how to sail, and so we took her on. And, so we have a lot of new, as General Patton said, and Jim here sailed on the vessel when it was owned by the Landmark School. In his will with the vessel was either the vessel be scuttled at sea or donated for sail training for educational purposes. So here we are, she's certified by the Coast Guard to carry passengers. So we're taking passengers out, but at the same time we're maintaining the educational part of it, and we're trying to raise the funds and the the support to actually fulfill the destiny of the boat and finally sail it around the world. So.
Awesome. And what is it like for you to be the captain of the When and If and to sail it? I mean, I can imagine this must be kind of an awesome job.
Yeah, it can be an awesome job. It can be an awesome job. Of course, when we're sailing, yeah, you get to miss the parts when I'm, elbow deep in bilge water, cleaning out pumps or stuff like that. But the sailing part of it is definitely an awesome job. It's good perks, good benefits. Right now we've been hosted on the mooring by a member of the Kennedy family. So you meet really interesting people and as they say, you don't own a vessel. The vessel owns you. It's your turn to take care of it. And this boat being as old as it is, it's quite true. It'll outlast all of us, and especially with the restoration that we just did.
Can you talk just briefly about that restoration and maybe how much of this boat is original? I know it was really kind of a stem to stern overhaul of the boat, but it looks like there's a great deal of original parts left still on this vessel.
Yeah, no, actually, she still has quite a bit of her that's original. I would say probably 65% of her is original, which for a vessel this age is quite a lot. I mean, more or less everything you're looking at. I mean, the cabin houses, the hatches, the majority of the cap rail, all the frames from here forward, those are all original. So except, Gannon and Benjamin in the 90s did a big rebuild after a storm, put her on the rocks. They fixed, so maybe 10 or 12 frames there are newish, but for the most part, a lot of the vessel's original. And the current owner was adamant. I mean, he could have changed the layout of the cabin houses and made it a little more comfortable for living aboard or cruising, but he was adamant to keep it, because of the historical value, keep it original and go through the extra effort of rebuilding instead of replacing.
Okay. So, Jenny, tell me a little bit about, we were just talking a little bit about the downstairs and how the fore and the aft cabins are almost original, or as they were when it was built. Tell me a little bit about what we see downstairs.
Well, as you say, the fore and the aft cabins, they're mainly original. The nicest feature about them, I think, are the soles, what we would call the floor, but it's called a sole on a boat. They're made of teak and holly, and at the moment they need a lot of love, but it's nothing that a bit of sandpaper and some varnish won't fix. As soon as we have time. Patton designed this yacht or designed it in conjunction with John Alden as a family home on the sea. It wasn't designed to feel like they were squashed onto a yacht going around the world. It was supposed to feel comfortable and very luxurious for its time. So in the 40s you had formal dining. You were expected to dress for dinner, you were expected to sit around a table, and the table originally was athwartships. It was placed port to starboard, and it had these big leaves on it that would open up so that the entire seating area you see down there could be used as dining seating. What we have at the moment is the table facing forward to aft, and 3 of the crew get to sit around it, and 1 crew gets the naughty seat on the other side, because not everyone can fit.
Wonderful. So this is obviously a beautiful historic vessel. What's your favorite part about being involved and working on and hoping to fulfill the mission of the When and If?
It's the days like this make a lot of the backbreaking stuff worthwhile. It's very glorious, and for a day sail, I prefer a calm sail like this. And we've had some pretty frisky days out here. It's been good fun, and it's hard work. And then there's the time at the end of the day when you come out of the harbour and you go onto the mooring and you drop the sails, and you can sit up on the main boom on there on top of the sail. It's like a big beanbag, and just watch the sun go down. It's a pretty special moment to think, what a lucky girl.